SummerSlam review. We're gonna get right into this and talk about the show that, not the show, the pre-show that kicked this all off. The one that I didn't see because once again, when I click under the YouTube page, it doesn't show me the pay-per-view. And this time, I thought it was even funnier than before because the last couple times I've missed the pre-show, and it was because it would actually say error. There's no kind of loading thing. It would just come up black, all that kind of stuff. I only got to see the one pre-show the whole way through, the first one. Everything else has been a couple minutes midway through the match, and that's about it. This time, I legitimately had static on the YouTube page. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I actually had the error screen and moving static. So I don't know if they're fucking with me or what. But I didn't see a minute of the pre-show. It connected to me to show me the replay of Antonio Cesaro winning the United States Championship from Santino Marella. So I didn't see any of it. I didn't get a chance yet this week to watch the pre-show match on YouTube or anything like that. Probably because I would get static anyway. So I can't comment on the quality of the match. Did you guys see it, or did you guys miss it too?
I watched it. I like the title change, but the match, you actually got to see Santino kind of attempt at like mat wrestling, which was kind of different. But it was just your regular Santino match until he lost, and yeah, it's been the quality of any other pre-show that you might have actually had the chance to see. So the only thing memorable about it was that the title changed.
I didn't see it, but I kind of figured they would take the title off of him. I mean, it was probably going to be sooner or later.
Yeah, I really did not like the idea of Santino keeping this title as long as he did. I wanted him to lose it months ago. I wanted him to actually lose it to Otunga going into WrestleMania. I thought that could kind of give Laurinaitis a little bit more steam. I mean, of course, he didn't need it anyway because they went with the win with them anyway. But the United States Championship, we were talking a little bit about this before the show, and I've mentioned it before on the show and on smarkoutmoment.com and everything like that. I wanted Damian Sandow to beat Santino for the title. I thought Sandow could come into this with the whole enlightenment for entertainment kind of a gimmick that he's got. And who better to target than Santino, who's one of the more quote-unquote like strictly entertaining kind of guys. He's not really like the serious
goofy
wrestler.
Comedy
right
act.
Yeah. You could have him come out, challenge him for the title, say that he's desecrating America and all this kind of stuff. He wins the title, and then the current feud with Brodus Clay. Brodus could have been the first contender to the United States Championship. I would have loved that. Now it seems like they kind of pushed that on the back burner and they gave it to Antonio Cesaro for what they're calling now or never situation, kind of. If he doesn't do well now, then he probably never will.
Yeah. Well, how much can you buy that?
He's barely been on the roster.
Well, yeah, it's just a dirt Triple H like Antonio?
I haven't heard too much about Triple H with Antonio, but I'm assuming that he does if he's kind of pulling the strings right now and they're giving this push to Cesaro. So he can't be in the doghouse or anything like that if they give him the United States Championship. Unless maybe they're having like some backwards ass day. You know.
At the end of the day, I'd still prefer Sandow with the Intercontinental title since I believe it's the more prestigious of the two of them. I think he'd have a better run with the IC title. But Miz is holding it, and that's all for another discussion anyway. So.
And the one thing about Cesaro winning the championship here that I like, other than the fact that it gets it off Santino, and it gives Cesaro some kind of a character, because remember, if not many people actually know Antonio Cesaro that well, the group of people that I watch the pay-per-views with, Dace and a couple other friends of mine and everything, half of them had no idea who Antonio Cesaro was, and they were like, well, what happened on the pre-show? And I'm like, the United States title match, Santino lost it. And they're like, oh, who did he lose it to? Like Otunga or something like that? Or, whatever. And it's like, no, Cesaro. Who the fuck's Cesaro? Like, so that shows you what little they've done with Antonio Cesaro so far. So if they can push him through this and actually develop a character other than I speak a bunch of languages and I can pull my arms back like a Gatling gun and look retarded. If he can go beyond the Oksana thing, then I'm all for it. If he can run with the ball, and I like the idea of giving somebody the chance to run with the ball as opposed to just, oh, well, figure something out on your own, and we'll only push you if you make a YouTube account or something like that. That's no shot at Zack Ryder. I think that he deserves better than what they're giving him too. But the other thing I wanted to say though about the Cesaro winning the championship that I like more so than just taking it away from Santino is people have rumored that maybe he would actually replace it with the European Championship. Now, here's the weird thing about this. I actually hate the European Championship. It's my least favorite championship they've ever had. So why would I like this? Well, I want something different here. And I don't like how the United States Championship has been kind of on the back burner for such a while.
Yeah. And a plus to the European Championship coming back would maybe open the door for future Grand Slam champions because,
right,
as far as I know, the United States title does nothing for Triple Crown or Grand Slam, whereas if you win the European title and you happen to win the Intercontinental title, Tag title, and World title, you become a Grand Slam champion. Whereas the U.S. title, if you win it, sure, it's a mid-card title, but it does nothing for, credentials. So that's a positive if it does come back, but this is strictly rumor, so we'll have to wait and see.
Right. I just, if they bring back the European Championship, I'd like to see them not continue the European Championship and just do something where maybe you get, and now, of course, it's not going to happen with the whole marijuana thing if that's true, but maybe somebody comes in and they play the American card and they kind of restore it back to the United States Championship. It's a classic kind of feud, but I like the idea behind it. So that's it for the United States Championship talk. The next part, we're going to talk about the commercials, the musical performance, and a whole lot of crap like that.